What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Friday MLB and NBA FanDuel value video for the main slates tonight. Give this video a like and subscribe. I'm doing another free Guru credit code after I do my MLB picks. Got a bunch of games on the main slate tonight. I'm doing the early only. There's a few games at 6:40 Eastern for the early slate. That'll be on my Dub Club as usual. We have 4 games in the after hours slate. That'll be on Dub Club too, and then the main slate's obviously on my actual website. We've been crushing baseball. Obviously that huge 20K winner on Monday. Yesterday we swept the board early, main slate, after hours slate. Let's do it again today and pick up the NBA slack because we've lost the last few days in NBA. So for pitcher, we're going to want to spend up on bats tonight. We have a lot of great offenses to target on this slate. We have the Padres at Coors Field. We have the Yankees in what has been a great hitting environment for the Athletics' new field. That's a 10 over under. Yankees should do some damage tonight. So it's going to be tough to spend up on guys like Hunter Brown, Max Meyer, and Aaron Nola. I'm not really going to look there. We're not going to be able to touch the Coors Field game if we pick Hunter Brown. There's a couple of options cheaper we could look at. My favorite cheap option right now is Kevin Gausman at 8,600. He's affordable at Seattle. Seattle prone to striking out. He's projected for 32 fantasy points, which at $8,600 is just what we want. He's been a little bit up and down this year, pretty decent overall, 3.8 ERA coming off of a 49-point game against the Guardians. He had a 58 in Boston and a 40 against Atlanta. Couple of bad starts in there too, but more good starts than bad. And, Gausman looks really good at this price in this matchup. The Mariners, not the craziest offense. It's only a 7.5 over under, so there shouldn't be a lot of runs in this game with Gausman and Castillo on the mound for each team. More cheaper guys, I wouldn't really look at anyone above Kevin Gausman, in my opinion. Maybe Luis Castillo against the Blue Jays, but the Blue Jays have been hitting the ball as of late. I don't love it. Again, with so many expensive, good-looking bats tonight, we're going to want to stay cheaper at pitcher. The next guy I'm looking at, maybe Gavin Williams at 7,800. Sub 8K looks great on Gavin Williams. He really only needs 24 fantasy points to hit value at this salary. It's a tough matchup against the Phillies. He's at home though. He's averaging 24 fantasy points on the year. This is definitely risky. He does have the upside, 39, 47, 33. Been giving up a lot of hits though, 5 ERA. It's not great. But he's cheap, and I think he's worthy of a value pick in tournaments because he's got that upside. Again, the matchup's not great. The Phillies are only slight favorites, -120, and the over-under is 7.5. So Vegas doesn't think that this game's going to see a lot of runs, and they think Aaron Nola and Gavin Williams are going to pitch well enough where, this game stays around 7 total runs. So Gavin Williams is not a bad play. Again, I would love the matchup to be better, but, we can't have it all. That's probably, factored into his salary being sub 8K, but I don't mind it at all. Someone I could look at. And then if you really want to get crazy, Hunter Dobbins hasn't been bad for the Red Sox. 3.78 ERA, had 2 great starts to start out. Tougher start against the Twins. He's against the Royals in Kansas City, so not another good matchup. He's projected for 22 fantasy points, so not terrible. Chris Paddock at only $6,700 at home against the Giants. He doesn't even really need 20 fantasy points to hit value. Anywhere in the high teens at this price is not bad. He's been okay. Again, you're not going to feel comfortable really about any of these guys, but these are the names I'd be looking at if we were going cheaper. It'd be Paddock. It would be Hunter Dobbins, maybe Jordan Hicks as well in Minnesota. He has a skyrocketed ERA of 6, but he's coming off of a good start against the Rockies. We know what he's capable of. Again, cheaper guy, but I wouldn't really look at Jordan Hicks. I'd be looking at Chris Paddock if you want to get really cheap, Hunter Dobbins, maybe. Gavin Williams looks like the best option down here. And then my favorite guy is Kevin Gossman at 8,600. For the infield, we got to dive into this Coors Field game. Luis Arias, just way too cheap, most likely batting second. We see an 11.5 over-under at Coors Field tonight. Padres are minus 166, so the Padres, by a decent margin, are expected to score the most runs on this slate. Got to get as many Padres in our lineups as possible. Arias is an automatic play at only 3,200. He's not a guy who's going to hit home runs, although 3 homers in the first 6 weeks of the season. That's a lot for Arias. But we're picking him because he's going to most likely get 5 at-bats, and when he gets on base, which is often, guys like Machado, Tatis, Jackson, Merrill can hit him in. So, I mean, we're not picking him for the power, but we're picking him for the consistency of getting on base. And again, 5 at-bats at Coors Field for 3,200. Sign me up every day of the week for that. Senzel has been terrible, by the way, for the Rockies. A 5.5 ERA, lefty-righty matchup for Arias. And then for third base, we're going to go to Machado. He's projected the most fantasy points on this slate behind Aaron Judge. Not shocking. Aaron Judge is an absolute animal, but 3,900 is a great price on Machado at Coors Field. He should be 4,500. I love him. He's on an 8-game hitting streak. He's batting .306 to start the year. Power numbers are down, but we all know what Machado can do, and that's hit home runs. He's at Coors Field tonight. He could easily do it. I love Machado. He's going to be in all my lineups tonight. There's no reason not to have him at Coors Field at sub 4K. Shortstop, we can get some value here. Looks like the best value play on the slate. Just because he's not a guy that should be this cheap, the models are, putting him at number 1 as the top value play. He's been bad, but we can't ignore this matchup. Gunnar Henderson in Los Angeles against Kyle Hendricks of the Angels, who's been terrible on the back end of his career. 5.28 ERA, 9.5 over-under. Not only has Gunnar Henderson been disappointing, but the Orioles in general have been awful. Henderson, decent chance at 5 at-bats tonight, lefty-righty matchup against Hendricks. I'm just going to take this play every day of the week, even if he's not in great form. We all know Gunnar Henderson is a top player in the MLB, and he's going to get things going sooner than later. He was late to the season. He was hurt. Maybe he just got some rust that he's still trying to shake off. Give me Gunnar Henderson at 3,100. We all know he could easily be $1,000 more expensive than this. And obviously the matchup is what we are highlighting here. Orioles, a top team to stack on this slate. Then for the outfield, Tatis looks great at 4,500 if you want to go to him. I'm going to do Aaron Judge at 4,700. He's expected the most points on this slate. We do have that Coors Field game. Obviously, the Padres in a great spot, but let's not ignore the Yankees. The Yankees at the Athletics Field, we got a minus 150 favorite for the Yankees, 10.5 over-under, so they're not much further away from the Padres for projected runs. And Aaron Judge is the best player on the planet right now. 400 average, 12 homers, 34 RBIs. Judge looks really good tonight, obviously. 4,700, you're paying a premium for good reason, though. Osvaldo Bido has not been great for the Athletics to start the year, 4.7 ERA. So Judge, with most likely seeing 5 at-bats tonight, looks really good for the Yankees. That'll do it for the MLB picks. Going over to my website for that Guru credit code, go to my shop page. As always, this is where you buy all your Guru credits. You can get main slates for MLB and NBA, daily fantasy, lineups, FanDuel, and DraftKings. So get those credits if you want some lineups. Again, I've been really hot in baseball especially. Go to the coupon bar here. Today's code is the date, which is May 9, and then coins 25. All capital letters, May 9, coins 25. You'll get 15 Guru credits, which is enough about to get you a lineup on my website. So hopefully those credits go to a good cause for you tonight for NBA or MLB. For NBA, 2-game slate tonight. It looks like the Cavs are going to be fully healthy after They haven't had Garland forever. They missed Mobley and DeAndre Hunter last game, and now all three players were at shoot-around, and it has been reported that all three are expected to play tonight in Indiana. I'm honestly not surprised. I don't think any of the three guys are going to be 100%, but they're down 0-2. They're on the road. They need to win this game. So I'm definitely not shocked that Garland, Mobley, and Hunter are all playing tonight, but that takes away the value that we saw last slate with guys like Max Strus, Donovan Mitchell, and Jared Allen. But getting into the 5 value plays at point guard, it's tough not to go back to Russell Westbrook at 5,200. He's been good. You can't really look at the last game box stats for these Nuggets and Thunder game because the Thunder won by like 30 points. A lot of these guys didn't play at the end of the game, but Westbrook was an absolute beast in the first half. He really got all of his fantasy points in that first half. Needs 25 fantasy points to hit value tonight. He's projected for 26, probably going to play anywhere from 26 to 30 minutes, and he's easily been a fantasy point per minute kind of guy off the bench for the Nuggets. I like him as a value play. Again, on these playoff slates, not a lot of great value plays sub 6K. Russell Westbrook is one of them tonight. Shooting guard can stay cheap again. I don't know why Andrew Nembhard's price hasn't gone up above 6K. He's been an absolute animal for the Pacers all playoffs. He was an animal for the playoffs last year, just continuing his great play when it matters most. Going to play 36 or 37 minutes tonight. 13 assists last game. Needs 29 fantasy points to hit value. He's done that in his last 4 games. Last 3 games, he's gone well over that. Been an absolute stud. Give me Andrew Nembhard. He'll be in all of my lineups tonight at 5,800. Small forward. Not a lot of great small forward plays on this slate. Can't really trust Alex Caruso. He only played 9 minutes last game. It was a blowout, but wasn't really playing. I guess he has good upside for a tournament. He has shown he can get there in the past over the last few games, but Christian Brown, not a bad play at 5,900. Aaron Nesmith had a great game last game. But Jalen Williams, I think you got to spend up at small forward as one of the small forward spots. 8,300 projected for 42 fantasy points. He's just as consistent as they come. Both games tonight, tight spreads. Both teams on the road are favorited. The Cavs are -5. The Thunder are -5.5. These games should stay close. We shouldn't see a blowout like we did last game. Love Jalen Williams tonight. He's got 50-point upside, and his floor is so low. I mean, his floor is so high. It's like 35 fantasy points. He's never going to really burn you. Love Jalen Williams tonight at small forward. Power forward, we're going to go to Aaron Gordon. He's just been a staple in my lineups. He's been around 5,700 to 6,200 bucks all playoffs. He's a guy who's going to get you 28 to 38 fantasy points. He just looks really good. Speaking of high floors, he got 20 fantasy points last game, and that was in a blowout. In a close game, he's going to get you over 25, and he has that 40-point ceiling. Love Aaron Gordon. He'll most likely be in all my lineups tonight. And then for center, we have 2 center plays to really be debating tonight. You could go with Jokic, obviously, but I'd like to spend up elsewhere because the center position is so valuable tonight. You got Isaiah Hartenstein at only 5,500 still, who's been great, projected for 28 fantasy points. I like Hartenstein, but I like Miles Turner more. Only 6,300. He's been a beast. Needs 31 fantasy points. He's projected for 36 tonight. He looks like one of the best value plays on this slate. Again, he's been a stud. 51 fantasy points. Got 40. He has 91 fantasy points in the 2 games total against the Cavs. He has not had any problems with this Cavs front court. I expect Miles Turner to continue his great play and see 35 minutes tonight. That'll do it for this video, guys. Let's have a great MLB slate. Let's have a great NBA slate. And let's continue to run hot going into this weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.